Welcome to Power User with Crash Long Johns. That's me. Today's topic is SharePoint settings with a rating of novice. In this video of settings, we'll cover site permissions and also change the look. So let's get started and jump over to the computer. Now that we're at the computer, we're going to cover the SharePoint basic site collection permissions. So I both have our communication site that we already created and also a team site that we already created. We're first going to look at the communication site. So here we're on a communication site, and in the top right we got our little cog or settings. If you click on that, then you'll see settings. Now if you created the SharePoint site, you're going to be an automatic owner and you should see a lot of these. Now if you don't see all these selections, might mean that you're either an editor only or maybe just a reader. So let's look at the site permissions. So that's where we're going to focus. As you see with the communication site, we got owners, members, and visitors. The owners is going to be full control. It means they have the keys to the kingdom. They can do everything that they need to do, front end, back end, since they're an owner. Site members. They're going to have a little less access than the owners, but pretty close to the same access of owners, but still not be able to do everything. And then visitors, which would be read, they're going to only just be able to see the information, not make any changes, do anything. Think of it like New York Times sending the paper, you know, they're pushing information, so you're just a reader of that information. You can't go change stuff. So if I go ahead and hit share site, and we're going to pick Crash Jr. here. And now I have the opportunity to pick either read, full control, or edit, and edit is the member. And so we're going to go ahead and just leave Crash Jr.'s read. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck send email because I don't need to push the email, but if you want to notify the person, you can always check the send email. And then just hit add. So if I go to the visitors, we'll see now that Crash Jr. has readership for this site collection. So let's jump over to a team site. So we got our team site, and same thing, going to go to the cog settings, hit site permissions, and as you see, we still got the site owner, site members, site visitors, same scenario. Now when I hit invite people, it's a little bit different. They either have add members to the group or share site only. In this case, if I hit add members to the group, it's going to add that person to the actual team's group. And also give them access to the site collection. If I only want them to have site access, but I don't want them to have access to our team, then I can share the site only. So let's go ahead and just add a member to the group so that way that person has full access. And we're going to add members. And again, we're going to get Crash Jr. here. And we're going to go ahead and hit save. Crash Jr. now is a member. We don't, and you know, we can, it's member owner. There's not really a visitor because again, this is a team site. So it's more of that around that collaboration. We're not like communication site where we're pushing news or information. This one, we're actually trying to collaborate. So we can go ahead and get out of that. And so we can go back to site permissions, and sometimes this might take a little while. So if we look at site members, hover over, right now it's still showing one member. We'll come back to that here in a bit. You can also just hit a little refresh. See if, yep, all right, we got the two members. We'll see if it's also updated here in the settings. Wait for it here. And just still showing the one. So like I said, it does take a little while. So we're going to move on. We'll come back to that just so we can show that it did actually take. So we're going to look at the user permissions and permissions. So this is docs.microsoft.com. And I'll add this to the actual information into the below in the video. But you can look at this later on. But what it covers is it's got all the default permissions, It also talks about the user permissions, what that means for lists, and then the site permissions. So this is where you can see like what full control and contribute, edit, what all they would have. So let's go back real quick before we jump to the next thing. So we're going to go ahead and do one more refresh of the team site. And wait for our cog here to refresh. There it goes. Look at permissions. Look at my members. And there we go. Like I said, it takes a little bit, but there's myself, and then we got Crash Jr. All right, this gives us the time that we're going to transition over to the actual, like, change the look. Okay, for the change the look, we're back at our team site here, and we're going to go ahead and again click on the cog. And this is going to be under the change the look and settings. And we have various different things here. We got theme, header, navigation, footer. For the theme, this is where you can actually change the color of your site collection. So right now it's set at teal. I can actually make it orange. You'll see that things have changed there. Red, purple, green. And depending on your organization that you work for, you might not see all of these. And you might have other ones that they might preset for you. But again, these are most like out of the box. We go back in the change the look. We got our header. And this is the header right here. And we got compact. We can go minimal. You see like it really crunches it down. Standard, a little bit bigger. Compact. And then extended, where it puts the title and the logo above and then the navigation. You can also change the theme. So right now it's set to white. You can make it like gray, the off teal, and then the pure teal. You can also make the site title if it's going to be visible or not. So you can make that on or off. Site logo you can change. And even the logo thumbnail. Navigation, we either have the mega menu, which as you can see, it kind of drops down. I don't have anything right now set, and then also the cascading. And cascading, you pick one and it continues to cascade down. And then the footer, which is down here, we got the simple or extended, just makes it a little bigger. And you actually add a logo and display name. And you can turn that on or off also. For a team site, change the look. Only two things that you really have is the theme and the header. Here's a little bit look of what that change the look will do. So we're just going to look at the theme again. This one's got some extra information on it, but you'll see that certain things will start changing, buttons, links, throughout the site collection. There's also the support.microsoft.com, change the look of your SharePoint site. Again, I'll add this link too, so that way you can see how you can use the theme to change color for your SharePoint site, customize your header. So going through about most of the stuff that we also covered, but gives you also the documentation that you can review it again at your leisure, or even this video. But the article gives you a little more insight. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, keep learning.